Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Creative Talk. My name is Shanae Miles, and I am so excited to introduce the talented Christylez Bacon. Let's welcome him to the show. What's up, Chris? How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you for taking the time.
Man, pleasure to be here digitally in the internet, and happy Friday to you and everyone else that is participating and watching.
Thank you so much. Well, Chris, I don't believe in doing formal introductions. I like people to introduce themselves in the way that they want to introduce themselves. Can you tell the audience just a little bit about yourself?
Hmm. My name is Christylez Bacon. Um, I'm a progressive hip hop artist from Southeast Washington D.C. Progressive hip hop in my way is taking traditional elements of hip hop such as beatboxing, rhyming, and storytelling and rhyming, and using that as a way to build bridges between communities and cultures. So that's what I like to do with music. A lot of multicultural collaboration, a lot of documentation of DC history and culture, and sharing it with the world, and sharing the world with my people as well. So that's a little
Awesome.
nutshell.
Awesome. When did you discover that you were really good at beatboxing? How did you get introduced to beatboxing?
So I didn't really know anything about beatboxing as a kid, like around elementary school level. So I was just making random sounds all the time, like action figures, like psh, 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 like doing things like that. And next thing you know, I was making sounds like naturally. That was just a thing that I would naturally do. And so my mom, who was a DJ, played a lot of hip hop, and so she introduced me to like Dougie Fresh and his records and stuff. And then I knew from that point moving forward that I could take these random sounds and then use them to create rhythms like that. And since then, I've had this instrument, the beatbox. And around high school, I attended Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC, but I was a visual arts major, but always like doing music at the same time. They wouldn't let you in for for bars. You know what I'm saying? They'll let you into Duke Ellington for rapping and making beats, you know what I'm saying, per se. But like but I hung out with the musicians and found out what they were doing, and I started reading music theory books and learning how to read and write music, and on my off time. And I started thinking about this thing more as an instrument, and started practicing it and studying it like an instrument. And by listening to other drummers, I started to cultivate my own drum set. So instead of it then became you know what I'm saying? Things like that. And now I got this full drum set that allows me to go anywhere in the world and work with any musician, you know?
Awesome. So when you started developing your human drum set, how did you get your practice? Did your family, I heard that your mom was a DJ, but did you have other family members that played instruments? Did you practice with them? How did you kind of develop your human drum set?
Just by listening to records.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't really have anybody to study under. I would just listen to records. So I just knew things by beats. And the beats are really important to our music
Mhm.
anyway, to like black people music, African American music. The beats are very important. And if you some I knew that it was this interesting thing. Like I think everybody's school had somebody that was really nice at doing any beat on the table. You know what I'm saying? With like a pen or something like that. So we had
Mhm.
like about because Duke Ellington, we had a number of cats that were really nice with the beats. You give them a pen and a table, and they could imitate any rhythmic pattern
Mhm.
for a song that you heard on the radio. And so the beats were very important. So I would like listen to those things and find out how to do it. This is a really like for example, um, which one is this? Funky drummer. Here we go. Like that, right?
Mhm.
So if I was just to do it without like enhancing my understanding of drumming, it would sound like this. And the snare all sounds the same. But that's cool though. It sounds really aggressive and that's cool. But if I add these things called ghost notes, like when the snare isn't always at one volume all the time. It's like
Mhm.
light at some parts. So instead of it's like that. You know?
Mhm.
And then they do things like the hi-hats. And so listening to music was like a teacher, you know? You could listen to any style of music without like reading like books on it,
Mhm.
and still learn a lot. Just like you could watch people dance on TikTok and you could learn to dance. They don't have to give you the tutorial. You just see and you're like, okay, I got you, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like, beatboxing is literally like a science, where, like you said, you listen to it, but I'm also certain that you've probably listened to actually people playing and how they play the drum. And I noticed in some of your, one of your videos that I was watching, I think it was the TED Talk that you were doing. And I liked how near the end you did like a fade out with your mouth, and I was like, wow. I said music really does sound like this, and it was amazing how you were able to do that just with your mouth. That's very interesting.
Oh, thank you so much, yo. Yeah, like paying attention and listening, right? And you could just pick up all these like nuances and details. So yeah, the crazy thing is I did not listen to a lot of beatboxers growing up. You had
Mhm.
Dougie Fresh, right? That
Yeah.
had the like did things like that. But he did these clicks. I can't really do the clicks, so my version is like that. Then you had cats like Biz Marquee that did a lot of crazy beats. Um, who else? Buffy from the Fat Boys that do like all that stuff. I can't do that. Clearly I'm not a big dude. I ain't got that much breath in my chest. All right. So, but he'll also do a snare like this, like that.
Mhm.
So like listening to like the earlier pioneers of beatboxing, that's where I really like started beatboxing. But then you had cats like Rozelle and Scratch from the Roots and stuff like that were doing crazy stuff. But at that point, I wasn't even listening to beatboxers. I was listening to drummers from that point on. And I'm a DC dude too. I'm from Southeast, so I'm listening to all go go. So I'm trying to like find out how to do a pocket like or like the like you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. So listening to drummers was like definitely the inspiration right there.
Did you know early on that this would turn into a career?
Nah, like that's so fascinating because I was really rapping. Rapping was definitely rap. I mean, it still is my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the way I get across storytelling and all that and concepts and ideas and thoughts. So I was really just rapping and I just wanted to make my own beats too because it really kind of pained me to think about having to be at the mercy of another person to create the sonic landscape for my words.
Mhm.
Like, dang, like I want the beats to sound like this, but I don't have enough money to afford like Pharrell and the Neptunes or Metro Boomin. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
don't got the money for that right now, so I gotta settle for this. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make it sound like exactly how I wanted it to sound, and so I started making the beats for myself, and I didn't start applying the beatbox until like late high school, saying like, oh, this could be a part of the sound right here.
Mhm.
And then I started adding that. It's like different things that I did at different points, and and now now all these random things that I learned that just because I just happen to be interested in it, it's now part of my sound and the thing that makes my show unique, and,
Mhm.
and the reason why I will never be in competition with anyone else because it's like, man, when it comes to like with you, when it comes to being you, there's no competition. Can't nobody be you better than you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I learned guitar while I was in high school. Just randomly got a guitar and started teaching myself and reading books. I learned beatboxing when I was a kid and started refining it around high school. I started rhyming like when I was in like elementary and middle school, and um and learning how to do some production, and then all these random things that I learned just started coming together, and now it's, oh yeah, djembe. When I was a young adult, I started learning that, and spoons and stuff, and all these things are now part of like my sound and like things that I have, like tricks in the bag that I could pull out in a live performance. So yeah, learning random things, it comes together in the end.
Awesome. No, I mean, no, I definitely believe in it. And improvising. I think that's the key to being a creative. Creatives are able to create things with what they have. And I
Yeah.
like the piece that you said how, hey, you didn't have the money to get someone to produce a banking beat. There's some people who they don't necessarily have the resources. They don't have a drum machine or nice production equipment, but they have their mouth, they have spoons,
Mm,
they have buckets, and they
for sure.
utilize that. And you can literally utilize all those elements to make music. And so I love how you've been able to just build upon one, the beatboxing, but then teaching yourself instruments you can play, but then also realizing the world is sound, and there's
Yeah.
so many different elements that you could use to make the sound. And so I really admire that about you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. And like, yo, that's the story, right? Like human. This happens with human beings in general, but just to focus on the African American experience right here. You know, what I'm saying, just in America, like things are constantly getting taken away from us. Music and arts programming in
Hmm.
schools. Like I'm working on a collaboration with Step Africa, like one of the top 10 like African American companies in the country, and we're doing this show together at Arena Stage all month. It's called Drum Folk at Arena Stage, and you can get tickets at arenastage.org. So like they're doing a joint about the Stono Rebellion when these enslaved Africans had rebelled back then, and things fell, right, things fell apart, and then all these laws got put out and stuff that started taking like rights and stuff away from enslaved Africans, and one of those things that they took away were the drums. And so this story like tells what happens with drumming. Like, you took away the drums, so now the drums are in our feet with the a ring shout, which we have in
Hmm.
our church, which makes our church, saying our the way that we do church different from how other people do church. It's because we have all the African isms in there. And then it comes in stepping, right? Where you start banging on the body, the knees, and using your feet and the hands. And then when we don't have stuff, it seems like it seems like, oh man, we're losing.
Hmm.
Um, Not saying that we shouldn't have things, but like sometimes when we can't afford things or we don't have the things that we want or the conditions in the right way we want, that's the opportunity to unleash the creativity. And as a result, with us in particular, it leads to freaking new genres.
Hmm.
It leads to stepping. It leads to things like beatboxing. Like, cause we couldn't afford no drum set, right? And we didn't have the space for it. So then we make something out of nothing, you know?
Hmm.
Some people did, because before beatboxing existed, some people was like, man, I need that beat. Hold on real quick. Let me go in the kitchen real quick. And then they pulled out some spoons. You know what I'm saying? And it just gives birth to a whole new style and stuff. And hip hop is the same way, is it not?
Yeah,
You know, people
it
just took
is.
records and started collaging together samples and then made a whole genre of music. You know,
Yeah, that is creativity in a nutshell. Um, what did you do before becoming a full-time performance artist?
man, I did many things. So I love I love technology and stuff. So I learned the programming language like when I was 12. And so I got really nice with computers like really early in the game. So I would do like these summer jobs where I was teaching teachers how to use like Microsoft Office Suite. Uh I used to also teach kids how to do web design and stuff like that. Um in early adulthood, I actually was teaching with a couple of organizations. Um one of those notable, two of them, Martha's Table and the National Organization Concerned Black Men. And so I was
Mhm.
doing creative writing workshops in DCPS for like 4 years, yo. And so yeah, a lot of teaching. And my last like regular job, like where you get like, oh, you get this paycheck from this and like that, you know, and you um one of those what's that form that you put in? Is it a W? I get
Your
because
W-9?
yeah,
W
is
well,
that a
it's called a W-9 now, W-2 probably.
okay, the W-2,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm,
Because it's different. Like when you're like an independent contractor, you're not going
mhm,
to send you're not going to get that form, right? So
mhm.
when you get that W-2 back, right? So like my last W-2 type of situation was working at the House of Musical Traditions in Tacoma Park, Maryland. It's a music instrument store, and they got musical instruments from around the world. Like you want a sitar from India, you find that there. You know, you want steel pans and stuff from Trinidad, they sell that there. You want like an acoustic guitar, boom. You want these spoons, you can find that there. You want djembes, you find that there. So that was like a really cool situation because it was almost like going to school for ethnomusicology, like
Mhm.
for studying music around the world because I was always interested in this. They had books on stuff, and then I'm like, I don't know how this instrument works. And then as soon as I had that experience, that weekend, someone comes in like, yeah, I'm looking for this enclong. I'm like, what is that? Like, oh yeah, it's a little Vietnamese joint. I'm like, oh, that's how you play that. I thought something totally different, right?
Yeah.
And so you like learn all this stuff. And like the proprietor, the business owner, David Eisner is like such a cool dude. It's like such a good place for a musician to work, right? He said to me on the first day in orientation, that youngin said, he was like, I so you're a musician. Everybody that work here are musicians. So you're gonna get some gigs. I and I say take the gig because the gig is gonna pay you much more in that one gig than your hours working here. But all I ask is that you let me know in 2 weeks in advance so we could get another musician to come in and cover you. And that job was so important because it allowed me to scale up. It allowed me to keep that joint consistent. And then whenever I got the gigs, I could take that off with a advance notice. And then you could get to a point where you naturally phase out,
Mhm.
where you're like, okay, now I have so many gigs coming in now that I can no longer work here. And I think that's a dope way to start. Like a lot of
Mhm.
people are just like, man, like I'm quitting everything and I'm just gonna jump in and I'm gonna suffer. I'm like, no, don't suffer. Like you better why not? You could there are better ways to do this. You know what I'm saying? You could ease your way into it. Do
Yeah.
a little drops at a time, you know? And you could go into being a full time musician. So shout out to House of Musical Traditions and David Asner. And thank you for that question.
Oh, no, no problem. And I mean, and I like how you had a place. A lot of people who, whether they're musicians, they're visual artists, it's hard to make that transition from, 9 to 5 to actually being able to do what you love
Yeah.
full time as a full time performer, full time entrepreneur. Um, and it's good that you had a location or a boss who, because I'm almost certain that he probably was a musician at
Oh,
one
he gets
point.
down.
Yeah, I'm sure. And so he probably understood the grind and the time. And so that's awesome that you had a place like that. I wish a lot of places were open to people who have other pursuits and want to pursue it and just need something as kind of like a cushion until they can actually fully transition. So that's amazing that you had that opportunity.
Hey, thank you, and shout out to them. And I feel where you coming from. I don't know, maybe we just gotta like, we just gotta try to find smart ways to do it. Maybe grind
Hmm.
it out, thug it out on the weekends and stuff like that. And, saying make some pop ups happening or whatever. You know, use some time weeknights. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying if you just throw enough time and energy at something, it usually gives you something back. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. So, when did you officially become Chris Styles Bacon? And I'm talking about like full time, full throttle. When did you become Chris Styles Bacon?
Dang, well, I got my rap name in seventh grade.
Wow.
So yeah, so Chris, and then Chris Styles, because I was trying to come up for with a rap name, and I found that to be the toughest thing to do. Like, how do you come up with a name that's going to describe you for in all your iterations and like and all that? Like that's crazy. It's a hard task, and even when thinking about like my genre of music, I call it progressive hip hop only for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it still doesn't encapsulate everything that I'm doing with the music. And so it was really hard to do it and my come up with a rap name, and I was just hanging out with my mentor on a Friday like how we do, and then he was just driving around. He was like, "Oh, I got a name for you. Yeah, it's gonna be Chris Styles, and it'd be spelled like check the spelling. It's like CHRISTYLEZ. So one S that connects Chris and Styles is one word, and then a Z at the end with all the hood spelling, right? And hey, thank you, my friend. And so and he said, yeah, that's tight. And he was like, man, it's like, nah, I'm playing with you. Meanwhile, I'm like, and there's some people were like, why'd you put bacon on that joint? Why is bacon in your name? I remember I was doing some work with these Hebrew Israelite cats. I was hosting an open mic out of their spot at Soul Veg like a while ago on Georgia Avenue. I hosted an open mic there. And they was like, Bacon, man, you gotta change. I'm like, yo, that's my whole last name, bro. Like, hey, that's not fictitious. Like, it just happened to be my last name. It's so funny. And now I'm vegan. I don't even eat bacon. Ain't that crazy? But I ain't eating it because it ain't delicious now. Like we all know it's delicious. You feel me?
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
you have your name. Where did your style come from? Because I've noticed in all of your pictures, you have a very unique style. Where did that style come from? Or what inspired it?
It developed at some point, like around like when I graduated high school. I started to just grow my hair out, and and I just like the fro because it's like reminiscent of the '70s and the Black Power movement with a lot of like black consciousness and stuff like that, and people like really embracing themselves. Like that's what this Afro is about. It's about
Mhm,
embracing yourself when everyone is like hitting you with Eurocentric beauty standards
mhm,
and teaching you not to like how your hair grows out your head. You know what I'm saying? And how you are and the things that make you different and unique.
mhm,
It's a form of resistance to grow your hair out and naturally. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy because sometimes like before that this space and era that we're in right now, um some of my students, like some of my black students, they'd be like, dang, how'd you get your hair like that? I'm like, bro, if you just let your hair grow for some months, you know what I'm saying, beyond like the low cut Caesar, your stuff be looking like this, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, cornroll it, I don't know, let it out, it's gonna be like this, you know? So it's like that. So I grew up the hair like that, reminiscent of that. And also it's really cool because it's I don't have to do anything too crazy. I just pick and pat in the morning. I definitely like to wear hats. I started wearing like a little snapback cap before I transitioned to wearing these hats, like fedoras and stuff. And I like the fedora, and it's also serves a dual purpose because I don't have to pick and pat my whole hair. Like if I had to pick and pat a whole 360 like circumference little situation over there, I never get out the house. I wouldn't be on time for nothing. So I only had to just pick out the sides on you and just put this hat down on it. And I'm just like, thank you, God. And then like if you go like on my Facebook, on like my personal Facebook journey, you go all the way back, you might see like different like you might see like if you go all the way back in like 2000 whatever when I first got Facebook, like I dress like a little different. Like I'm straight from out of Southeast, you know what I'm saying? We was rocking what we rock, you know what I'm saying? Like straight from Condon Terrace, straight from Benning Road, Benning Heights, all that stuff. Um, we dress how we dress, but I always wanted to do something a little different. And so I got to a point one time when I was just like, you know what? I want to dress how I want to dress. Cause I noticed that that other people's style guide was oppressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh wow, I can't wear these shoes because if I wear these shoes, Bama's gonna try to cook me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't wear this because if I wear this, Bama's gonna cook me. I'm like, yo, forget all these people. I want to just dress how I want to dress. And
Right.
so slowly, I started putting together the stuff. And also, I just wanted to put my best foot forward every time I came out the house. You know what I'm saying? In my own way. Because I grew up wearing the hand me down stuff. You know what I'm saying? Me and my older brother wore the same size shirts, and he way bigger than me. He wear triple XL. I wear medium, but I was wearing triple XL shirts. You feel me? So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear this like this, and slowly it started to evolve, and I started to meet people like the person that designs this right here, Rethink Taylor, and she like created these for women originally, and I was like, oh, I could rock that, and I started putting this underneath the collar. And oh, that's hot, and ever since then, these have been like my ties. And so it's like a mixture of like 70s vibes, DC Capitol Hill vibes without being a Capitol Hill youngin'. So that's why I rock regular ties and just like just doing my own thing. So that's how that evolved.
I love it. Is there going to be a Christylez fashion line, clothing
Oh
line
my
coming
God.
out?
Man, I don't even know. But what I would love to do is just get custom made clothing. I would love to just design this stuff and just have people make it for me, and like and just so just people know if they're interested and everything. Like you might think that maybe I have like a large closet. Nah, like I think what every piece of clothing I own is just 50 items. And that's including shoes, that's including these little accessories, these and socks. It's just 50 items total. So and that's for like all year. Like winter, spring, summer, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. I and fall. It's just and including coats and everything. So I keep it like really simple. It's just like three or four like dress shirts that get washed and rotated, you know what I'm saying? Like just a small set of pants. It's what's called a capsule wardrobe. And it
Mhm.
just makes it really easy to get dressed in the morning. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna wear today? I'm gonna put on a shirt, white shirt like always. We're gonna do black pants or we're gonna do tan pants today. Oh, it's 80 something degrees. We rocking tan. Which tie we gonna wear? We're gonna wear this one. We're gonna wear the red one to go with this. And then sock, and then this hat I usually wear for spring, summer, and then fall, winter I wear a gray felt hat. Just go through the pictures, you'll see that all this is true. So it's really simple way to get dressed, but everything works together harmoniously. So you could pretty much get dressed with your eyes closed and walk out the house looking okay.
Nice, nice. Fashion 101 with Chris Styles. And for
Come
those who've
on,
heard it, he said he's looking for somebody who will just design the clothes. So if you're a designer, Chris Styles is looking for you.
come on. I need all types of cats to fabricate stuff. But yeah, you could build an ill wardrobe with just over time. Like you could buy like one dope piece a month. I do have to say you I, that when I do buy like an item, it has to be like a bit high quality because it
Hmm.
has to last me some years.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this hat probably like 8 years old at this point. You know, and like if you look at a picture now, like this winter that just passed, and you look at a picture from winter like about 15 years ago, like I still have the same clothes. You know what I'm saying?
You're my kind of person. I have a person who's
Yeah.
actually watching this show who doesn't believe in keeping stuff for several years, but
Uh huh.
I am a firm believer in keeping stuff for several years, especially if it's good quality.
If it's good quality, man, it kind of changed the way I look at. It's funny because like it also changes the way I look at like people and relationships too. Sometimes you have a falling out with a friend or something like that, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna throw away this friend. They upset me. And I could be like that with a shoe, like with my
Mhm.
dress shoes. I'm like, oh man, this dress shoe looking hella like it's bent and whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not being good to me. It's like, whoa, don't throw that away. Shine it.
Yeah.
I just shined the shoe like on Monday to do like this little Fox 5 media hit with Step Africa. I was like, I'm like, yo, this joint look good as new. Like sometimes you just gotta put a little time and attention into it, and then you come on the other side with it good as new, or if not better, because y'all been through some stuff together. And
Yeah.
so that's what clothing, that's what relationships and other things, even your career and
Yeah.
music and stuff like that. You got to persevere because maybe it's not always good to you. Maybe you know what I'm saying, it's not always like sunshine and lollipops and performing on a big stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What tons of attendees. Sometimes it's small attendees, but the people that you met there though were
Yeah.
quality, and you transition.
Did you have a moment in your career where you had to persevere?
Oh, all the time. Like, look, like whenever I'm doing like a really big show, it's like, oh, the enemy trying to come for me. Like sometimes, like I was just doing a show at the Kennedy Center, right? And it was my first time putting my large ensemble together. It's a 10 tat, so that's 10 youngins on stage, right? The Washington Sound Museum Orchestra, so that's like violin, viola, cello, string section, and then we got 3-piece horn section, all of that, all the crazy stuff. And so I'm like, yeah, man, I'm ready to do this joint. Let me go ahead and get the sheet music together. You know what I'm saying? So they know the sheet music that I wrote. And I'm gonna edit this because the sheet music is kind of old, and my ideas now and how I put music together has evolved as I've been learning stuff over the pandemic. More music theory, more things about arrangement and composition. I I get up on the joint. What happened? Like this new software update and stuff, whatever. Like the software basically don't work. And so now I gotta find a way to like update these charts or like make it happen so that all the musicians get what they needed. So man, I had to do some bootleg stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing. And shout out to my mom for like teaching me this. And I'm pretty sure y'all had people in your life and you had someone in your life that put you on though. But you know how we do it, like it's like, oh man, the heat went out in the crib. It's like, okay. My mom was like, okay, man, my mom one went to she went to the oven and put it on broil and just opened the oven and let it heat us. You know what I'm saying? And so, like in the evening, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom always found ways to make it work. My mom one Christmas, we used to sleep on the couch, right? And so the living room was in the couch. So no, no, it was in the we used to sleep on the couch in the living room, right? And the Christmas tree was in the living room. My mom, she was wrapping. Well, we fell asleep, right? Christmas Eve. My mom was wrapping Christmas gifts. All right, so by herself, boom, boom. This woman ran out of gift wrap. You know what she did? She took some trash bags, cut them joints up, taped them joints together with some little masking tape, and then had the tag on that joint. So we saw like gift wrap gifts and trash bag wrap gifts. That joint said from Santa. I was like, no, no, no. Santa does not get the prize. That is all mom being a straight G. You know what I'm saying? And like being so creative.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So she should definitely get more all the credit and no Santa. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
I think moms in general, moms have a way of
mhm.
just making stuff happen
Come
for
on.
their kids.
Yo, yeah, and fathers get it too. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
the father run to get like Pursuit of Happiness, like that movie, it's like man, you just gotta thug it out sometimes. Yeah, make it happen like a true captain, and yeah, that just helps in life.
So So you've persevered and you've had some stuff. What are some like memorable projects that you've worked on?
Memorable projects. All right, let's see. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think about recent years and stuff like that. Hey, thank y'all so much for the messages, yo. So like, let's see, what's some memorable? I would say this one. So I created a cultural exchange project between two sister cities, right? A sister city. So Washington D.C. and a sister city in Brazil called Brasilia, which is like the federal district, the D.C. of Brazil. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so that joint was really memorable for me because that was the first time I left the United States, like in my life. That was the first time I did that, and it was in 2015. So I had to get a passport. Like I don't even have a driver's license. Well, I have an ID, but I just don't know how to drive. But like, I had to get a passport, get all that together, go to another country where the official language isn't English. Like there's some people that speak English, but like they ain't really catering to you like that. I think every American should go to a place where they just don't cater to you. You know what I'm saying? So you know what time it is when you see like people that are like that are immigrants that are migrating over here and they just try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I feel you, bro. Like you don't know how to speak this language, it's cool. Like let me get Google Translate out on the phone real quick and try to help you, you know what I'm saying, get what you need, you know what I'm saying? But so I went over there, had to learn about the culture and stuff like that, and we shot a whole documentary out of that. Created music together. Had to find out how they do music differently over there and where I can fit in with my own style and stuff like that. And then blend it together. Then fly everyone back over to the United States to Washington D.C. Hook them up with some teaching some master classes at Duke on the alma mater. And then we did a big concert, yo, like two sold out concerts and yeah, and created a whole international documentary out of it. So that was a real memorable project because it really opened me up and expanded like me in a different way. And I had to learn a whole new language, you know what I'm saying, which now I speak, but I'm still learning too. It's like an ongoing process, you know. But man, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Speaking of projects, I saw a project that you did, and actually, I have a video that I'm going to show, but it was for a Dunkin' Donut campaign.
Yes.
I'm going to show the video, and then I'm going to have you share a little bit about that project.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Yo, crazy. Crazy stuff. So that right there was a summer campaign that Dunkin' Donuts were working on, and so they hit so the folks that were doing like the whole like marketing promotion thing, they just they reached out and contacted me, right, and just and it was like, yo, so we're trying to do this campaign, right, and we want to create 5 commercials. Hold on. Ooh, 1 2 1 2. My bad. The cable's going on bootleg mode right now. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right. So they was like, "Yo, we want to do this campaign, 5 commercials, and with you creating music using nothing but Dunkin' Donuts cups and straws. And I was like, dang, like how did these gigs come to me? Like like what's happening? Like but I could definitely do it. Like I was definitely suited to do it. And those joints, like the really big and best gigs all happen and not by me like searching for them, but like I feel like God just be like, boom, there you go. You know what I'm saying? If you're familiar with like the book of Exodus and stuff like that, manna from heaven, you know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
like and even during the pandemic, just like manna, there you go. You got that. You got that. You know what I'm saying? And it gets placed there, you know. But also, you know, in the meantime, I'm also doing a lot of work and putting out a lot of music and learning a lot too, and creating as well and putting it out there in the world. But so I'm like, okay, I could definitely do this. How am I going to create this music? So that first piece was like an ode to Chuck Brown, where I just wanted to create like a kind of a go-go situation. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, using the two cups open like that. And I'm like, okay, what else can I do? I can use the cups with like ice or the coffee beans in it as a shaker. We got that. And, I'm beatboxing using the with water in the cup with the straw right there, and so when you blow on it, it create a note. And as you lengthen the straw, shorten it, it would change like the vibration, like in the sine wave, and you would get a different note. Or in this case, you get like a spacey flanger effect out of it. So I did that, and yeah, and started layering everything. Oh yeah, and I used spoons on it because I wanted to rap over it, but they didn't really want rapping on it. So I just thought I'll scat and use the spoons while scatting at the same time. So scatting when I'm playing on the spoons. And so yeah, that's like one of 5 commercials, yo.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and also I made a muted trumpet type of situation with the cup and a straw, and I had to take the straw and cut it sideways so that in a certain way so that when I blow when I blow into the straw, it will vibrate the two pieces like a reed and make it like a kind of like some type of buzzy like woodwind or like trumpet sounding situation. So to the best of my ability, and then use the actual lid as a cup mute. So yeah, just being nerdy and like finding ways to create the music. But y'all gotta check out the other 4 joints. Like they're
Yes.
like totally different. And I use the cups and straws to make all types of situations. Pan pipes, didgeridoos, or yadakis from Australia. It's crazy stuff.
Yes, his videos can be found on his YouTube page, Christylez Bacon. They're all great. I thought that was the perfect one since we're repping DC and
Hey,
go go.
hey, hey.
Another project that you worked on, and you were doing, I don't know if you're still doing, but you were doing some weekly beatbox remix series.
Mm.
And I actually have a video to show from that. So I'm going to show it and then I'm going to talk about that just a little.
Oh, that'd be great.
Y campanero, bongo, canile, campana, no paguiro esa mañana. Ay, aquí se sale o si no sale, la combate revista. Hey, vamos a gozar, vamos a gozar, vamos a gozar. Esto te pone la cabeza mal. Sí.
Yeah.
Sorry
Oh,
about
remix. Twice back at you like Christ. Hey yo, straight up. So that piece right there is it's a style of music called timba. Chimba. See, when it comes to Spanish, I'm learning Spanish right now, but it's not where it needs to be at the moment. So I just want y'all to know that if we talking Portuguese, I got you. But yeah, so it's called Timba or Chimba, Timba. And so I collaborated, my collaborators there, Jean Francis Va, that played the guitar and sung. He has this group called Sahel, and they play music throughout the African diaspora. And he says any place where the African drum went, we play that style of music. So they're playing like salsa, they play chimba, they play like South African like music too. Just a little bit of any and everything. compa from Haiti, all that. So like so I wanted to do some Cuban music. So I rocked with him and his boy Felix on that joint, playing the congas and stuff like that. And so my job right there was to find out what I wanted to do with Beatbox Remix series. Because I was like, what is the? I was a little sad because I wasn't able to do my Washington Sound Museum concert series, and because
Mhm.
I haven't found the perfect venue yet for it,
Mhm.
for these like big like larger scale collaborations. But I still wanted to collaborate, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a smaller scale version. I could create videos, and I could use one of my instruments. This one, it's the quickest instrument for me to work with anybody in any style of music around the world. So yeah, it's a whole series of videos, and I got more that I'm
Mhm.
gonna release after I'm done with this Step Africa theater run at Arena Stage for June. So like July, I'm gonna release some videos that I did with Princeton Symphony Orchestra. That's gonna be nice. So look out for that. And so yeah, so we did that, and I had to learn how to do um how to create a reduction of all the stuff that happens in chimba and salsa, right? I had to create a reduction for the human beatbox. So we doing you know what I'm saying? I had to do all the like the and the just found ways to make it all come together. And so if you follow that series and stuff, you can see this happening with 12th century Hindustani Indian classical music with my friend Mr. Raj. You can find like classical music with my friend Jamie Roberts on the oboe. Um, yeah, just tons of stuff like that. I love that stuff.
Awesome. And you have something else that you do, and actually, you prepared something special for us today. You did something called Freestyle Fridays. Tell us a little
Yay.
bit about that. And then I know that you have a performance that you were going to do.
Yeah, so Freestyle Friday was a thing that I started doing at the top of the pandemic because people be going through stuff. I mean, just on a regular without a pandemic, right? And so the pandemic was definitely taxing youngins in a different way. And so it's good to keep some type of schedule and some type of regimen when you're going through some times, like maybe a weekly check-in with a homie, or y'all go for a walk every week or something like that. And so I wanted to create this type of experience.
Hmm.
And um and so um what I could offer was just doing a free broadcast for people, right, every Friday, and encourage them to just step in that joint, throw some random words in the chat section, and then I'll take those words and I'll freestyle continuously for 30 minutes using those words that they put in the chat. And then I create a new beat every week and stuff using sampling, and I use like a turntable scratch, do the freestyle, and be as the verses using the words. And so it's good because I get a chance to offer something to the communities and stuff like that, to get people in that right place. And on top of that, I could like definitely just practice and just boost my skill set of freestyling and beat making and production at the same time. So what I'm saying, we all grow. And it's good to see your people when you couldn't see people like that. It's good to
Hmm.
see your folks and stuff like that. Like, oh, my man over there. And then sometimes I get off the freestyle joint and then get on the phone and be chopping it up with people that I ain't talked to in a while, and just checking with them, like see how they was doing during the pandemic. So because like the streaming platforms, they wouldn't allow me to simulcast Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram simultaneously. They wouldn't let me do it. So I had to do 2 sessions of this. So it's basically like an hour of freestyling every Friday. It was Facebook and YouTube at the same time, 30 minutes, and then IG Live for 30 minutes. So, yeah, it's crazy. So, as far as like something to do for you all and with you all, I'm going to open it so that we could do a little freestyle thing. I'm going to do something for y'all. Hold on. I'm going to do a different version, okay? So something so that the people can enjoy it on the playback, okay? So look, for all my people that are tuning in for the playback, This right here is a freestyle, and I'm gonna use all the words that folks give me here on the Spizot. So let's get it started. Let's see. All right, hold on for a second. Let's use 10 words. Okay, so this is the Freestyle Olympics right here. This is a game I started doing when I was in high school with my friends to improve our skill set. We take 10 random words from the people in the audience right here, 10 random words, and my job is to make them rhyme and somehow make them make sense. All right, so I'm gonna pull up a little document so I could type all your words and put them here on this screen. All right, so look, you type a word in the chat, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna write it down, use it in the freestyle, okay? So you have to give me a word. You have to give me a word to start it off. Our host, Miss Miles.
Let's see. My word is hippo.
All right, we got hippo,
Someone added Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yo.
Cornbread.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on real quick. Girl, I done forgot how to spell Jamaica out here in these streets. Hold on, I got you. Hey.
And we got bananas.
And banana. All right, they coming. Let's see. Boom. What else we got? All right. Bananas. What,
Cornbread.
what was the other one you said? And cornbread too?
Yes.
Bananas, cornbread. All right.
Bacon.
Bacon. There you go.
Go go.
Go go.
Hello. Train.
There we go. All right. Look, we got two more left. And let's see. I want these. Think about this. Think about some really difficult words that you never thought. Let's think about really difficult words you never thought you'd hear in a rhyme in your life. Really difficult, multisyllabic, whatever.
Um, Supercalifragilistic espialidocious. Is that a word?
Dang, that's that. That's the what's that? That's that. What movie is that from again?
I I
Is that
can't
from
remember.
Mary? Is that from Mary Poppins?
I think so.
All right, super cow ellipsis. Sorry, I ain't watching none of the music, none of them joints growing up. Like people be like, oh yeah, like the Sound of Music. I'm like, dude, we was watching John Singleton films. Where you see none of that? You know what I'm saying? Spike Lee joints. We wasn't watching none of that. So that's like I know nothing. All right, so supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's like a whole
And
bar of
we
music.
someone said decinuous.
Good God, what is that word? Hold on.
D
What?
I
Uh
S
huh.
I
D I
N
S I N
G
G
E
E.
N U O U S.
Good God, hold on. With the help of Siri, hold on. Is that? Hold on. Oh, is it like disingenuous?
Yeah, that's probably the right
Oh, okay,
pronunciation.
okay, cool. Let me let me get my life right. Hold on, real quick. Let me just make sure I'm on point over here. The, You know what? That's so funny. Like, cause it's a word that is often used, but that's actually my first time seeing the word in spell and form. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had this experience where you've always heard certain words spoken, but you never saw the words written?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, crazy. I I got you. Who I? And see, just like we're learning, sorry, 1 2. Just like we're learning other languages, I feel like it's an ongoing process even with English. Like I feel like I'm still learning English too. I always tell people English is my second language. My first language is DC. I speak DC first primarily, and then I go English sometimes. All right, so I'm still learning English. Bear with me. Here we go. So now let me start up some sounds real quick. How are we gonna do this? Let me bring my little super small turntable here. All right, my friends. Here we go. Sound check. All right, can you hear that okay?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. This is a beat that I made right here. I'm sampling an artist from Brazil that I like so much. Her name is Sandra Jessá, Afro Brazilian artist. She's dope. This joint was probably like from the 70s or early 80s and stuff. This is my joint right here. And so it's really fast, really funky, but I slowed that joint down. I made it swing and I put some other stuff to it, add a little vibe. So this is a beat from the Freestyle Fridays series. All these beats are designed to give you like that early to mid 90s vibe, like you just riding the car on a Friday night, you know what I'm saying? The weather's nice, the top down, you turn on the radio and then you listen to some good sounding hip hop with some breakbeat samples and stuff. So this is the vibe for that beat. All right, so let's see if we can get this happening. Here we go. All right. Let me turn the volume up on my side. Here we go. Here we go. I gotta turn the volume up instead of down. Logging on right now, Chris, with the freestyle. Get on top of this from the city made of chocolate. Low key like a hippopotamus. This is how I go. Complex or simple. Adjust the tempo. Kick it like a hippo. Using both measures of the word, both styles up on the word, up on my own accords. This is how I go with the freestyle now or later. Shoot it like an hour later, chill like Jamaica. Never will hate ya, give you much bliss when you're rocking with Chris. Got your words on the list. Do it right now and we up on the camera. Hip hop not for amateurs, coming through hitting the style that's straight bananas off top of the head. So unique, sweet on the beat like some cornbread. Come on. 4 words right there, those are 4. Alright, I'm gonna get at you. We got some more words left, alright? Let's do some scratching. Alright, getting messed up right now, so a brother gotta catch up. Right now, while you're chilling and you're waiting on the next joint, anticipation. Christylez Bacon up on the track, watch it sizzle. Christylez coming through with the flow, just a little bit of the flow. If your youngest don't know, you can holler at the blow. Watch it bounce like some go-go hip hop off the top, bounce like a pogo. Post it up, brother, on the wall like a logo. When we do this joint, don't play the cello but rock for the fellows. You can wave and say hello. Freestyle is off of the brain and it's off of the train. I'm off of the chain. Check the train of thought. When we come through, it be the dopest. It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Come on. Hey, we got one more left, alright? Hey. Alright, freestyle Olympics, brother getting wild for the district. Old school like a blueberry mystic. Crush the beat style like the beat was a Trisket. This is the preamble. Watch how I do this joint, leave the beat in shambles. Brother like the ramble on, prolong, make a new song. After this, 6 feet tall, Bacon will sit down when we done with the freestyle right about now. You're rocking with your brother, coming through Old school like the butter. Tim's, the beat is tighter than the hymn. When we coming through, you can holler at him. Log on the feedback, the playback, watch him. And we rhyme and rip. This is how we rip. All honest, not disingenuous. Come on. Those are all your words for Freestyle Olympics. That's how we go live from the district. Alright? So here we go right here, the freestyle, another walk in the park. Thanks for logging on. This right here has been Creative Talks. Thank you, my friends.
That was dope. I see some of the hearts. I can see some people say awesome. Got some people on here saying wow,
Thank you.
great job. I like that. That was fun, man. You was dope.
Thank y'all so much. Let me get these words off the screen real quick for y'all.
Yes. Thank you. That was awesome. And you were
Thank
doing
y'all.
this. So you were doing this during the pandemic?
Yeah. I was doing this every week. I forget how many weeks I did it for, but it was definitely beyond like 25 of these weeks. It was crazy. Like every week, um, making new beats and just freestyling for youngins. I even did one on my birthday. I did one for like the holidays for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I had to mix up that. I had to remix that TLC Sleigh Ride song. You know that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you gotta type in TLC Sleigh Ride. That joint go hard. It's a Christmas joint. It got the sleigh bells in the beginning.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. No, I do know that. I'm sorry. Actually, my best friend, that is her song. She
Come on,
loves the
up and away. The left out verse. Oh my God. And then T-Bars be killing that joint. Yo, y'all gotta see that joint. It's so good. I mean, y'all gotta hear it. I don't know.
Yes,
They might got a video.
it probably is. I'll try to find it. But thank you so much for that. I know the audience is on here loving it. They're going, I'm looking at my phone, they're going crazy with the hearts. Thank you again for that. Now, we are going to move, we have actually one question a person asked. And this is from Timothy Banks. He said, what does it look like musically for Christylez Bacon in the next 5 years?
Man, God knows. I tell you what I'm working on though. Like I tell you what I'm working on like right now. So I told y'all about that collaboration with Step Africa that's happening at Arena Stage for the entire month of June. It is a really strong program. Like, yo, y'all gotta check that and check out the previews and stuff. It's crazy. So that's gonna happen. Um let's see. In September, I'm working with Wheeling Symphony Orchestra out of Wheeling, West Virginia, and we're doing a first of its kind. We're doing a concerto for beatbox and rhyming. Just like it's a classical, like it's like an orchestral piece that goes through the just the development of American music from like an international perspective. So like all the international styles of music that affected DC and that is now in the DNA of American music. And so that's gonna be great. And in this same concert and stuff that I'm doing, Yo Yo Ma's also gonna be on the gig and is gonna be performing a cello concerto as well. So that's gonna be all the way live like Lakeside. And and after that for like was in the next 5 years, you know what I'm saying, God willing, tons more multicultural collaboration, bridge building. I'm working on like a television show as well that's all about multicultural collaboration and stuff. And so I'm going to be so I'm in the process now of learning some languages, including Anapatalim Arabi. So I'm learning Arabic and I'm trying to improve Portuguese. And right now I'm in Spanish. So if anybody speaks Spanish right here, and you know what I'm saying, send your boy a message and stuff. Hit me a DM with in the Spanish or in Arabic, and I respond to you because I need all the practice. So that's what's happening. More multicultural collaboration and hopefully traveling as we just get better and healthier in our practices around the world. Then it'd be safer to do your thing and get busy and stuff like that. Thank you so much for the question, Sam. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time to chat with me and to just drop some nuggets and just be your full self. I really love your personality.
Oh, thank you so
It's
much.
it's awesome. For those who want to stay connected with Chris Styles, you can visit his website. It's up on the screen. It's chrisstyles.com. You can also follow him on Instagram at Chris Styles Bacon and also on his YouTube page, which is Chris Styles. Thank you again, Chris Styles, for joining us. And for those who watched this episode of Creative Talk, thanks again. If you want to stay connected with Project Create, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms at Project Create DC, or you can visit our website at projectcreatedc.org. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks
Yay.
again, Chris. And you all have an awesome evening.
Peace, peace, peace.